Fellas, what's happening right now in the world is something that everybody knows and understands. When somebody is the strongest in your group and he's not nice with everybody, most of the time he's intimidating, bossing, telling people what to do, how to live, how to behave. It comes a time people get tired of it. I mean, I've experienced that in primary school and everybody was shit scared of this guy. He was just, you come here, you bring me cake tomorrow, you get out of there, you don't talk to her, don't talk to him. He will tell you who you should be talking to and who you should be talking to. We got really tired of him, really, really tired. But we had no strength, because, boys, they would push you in a corner and beat the crap out of you. And you couldn't speak. This guy's name was Junior, who used to intimidate all of us. And then there was another guy that came across. His name was Capi. He was just as small as us. Junior was a big boy, big thighs. This Capi one day had enough. He said, "What do you want to say?" This is Capi. "Who do you think you are? You think you can beat me? Show me you can." We were all shocked because nobody has ever opened his mouth against this Junior guy because he was thick thighs, like big guy. He could do somersault, and at the time when somebody could do somersault, we were like, "This guy's a ninja." We were all happy, like everybody behind Capi because we were waiting for him to start and we were ready. Had he started a fight against Capi, we were going to jump him and beat the shit out of it. And that was the end of Junior, the end of his era at least. I saw that happen. Capi was a cool guy. Junior was a terrorist. If you have children, you have kids, I think you need to talk to your kid because bullying is real. Maybe that was the reason I became a boxer later, but no, maybe not. Anyway, what is happening in this story I just narrated is exactly what's happening in the world. Everybody's turning to Russia, and I feel like Russia is Capi in this story. Everybody turned to Capi because Capi was cool, Capi was not. He was strong, but never invasive, never trying to tell you what to do. Let you do your own thing. Sergey Lavrov, foreign minister of Russia, has traveled to Africa to come and see some African nations and discuss on diplomatic alliance and agreements. He's traveled to Guinea. He was in Burkina Faso, went to Congo, Brazzaville, then ended up in Chad. Chad's going to be his last country. He's done a few other countries, but Chad will be the last country. So Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov was in N'Djamena. He was wrapping up his African tour, which included a stop to Guinea, Republic of Congo, Burkina Faso. And they had a great discussion. He spoke to his counterpart, Abdurrahman Kulama, if you prefer, and discuss some good things about Chad. Chad is a country that just went through election lately. The current president is the son of the previous president. The previous president died, and his son took over temporarily until the elections. Many people contested the elections, but that's not new in Africa. People always contest elections, whether it's true or not. He's the president right now. Now, he has discussed with the foreign minister of Russia about future, on how they're going to cooperate. And this is what the foreign minister of Russia said. Very interesting. Listen to this. He says, "I can agree that our friendship with Chad will not affect our relation with France in any way. France has other approaches. It proceeds from the fact that either you are with us or you are against us," he said. So he said, "I can agree. I can guarantee that our friendship with Chad will not affect France." Why does he say that?
Je peux vous assurer que notre amitié avec la République du Tchad ne va pas influencer ses relations avec la France. La France a une autre approche. Selon Paris, soit vous êtes avec nous, soit vous êtes contre nous.
Do you understand why he says that? He says that because France has been very harsh on Russia lately. Not happy. Emmanuel Macron said the other day, they're ready to send weapons, not just weapons, but to allow French weapons to hit Russia within Russian territory.
Donc nous, on reste exactement dans le même cadre. On pense qu'on doit leur permettre de neutraliser les sites militaires d'où sont tirés les missiles. Et au fond, les sites militaires depuis lesquelles l'Ukraine est agressée. Quand c'est depuis des cibles identifiées en Russie que l'Ukraine est agressée, eh bien, je pense qu'on doit pouvoir leur permettre de le faire si on veut véritablement retenir notre objectif. Et je crois pouvoir dire que factuellement, nous ne sommes pas escalatoires en faisant cela, puisque c'est la Russie qui s'organise de cette façon.
That's a big statement. America has been sending weapons to Kiev, same as many other European countries, in one condition. The condition is very simple. We're going to send you weapons to fight within Kiev and Ukraine borders. Do not go beyond. Do not hit the Russians within Russia. Because by you hitting Russians in Russia, you are not only declaring war, a major big one against Russia, you are also involving our countries into the war. Vladimir Putin stated very clearly, if they use any weapons from any country to hit Russia, that country becomes a legitimate target.
Второе. Мы думаем на тему о том, что если кто-то считает возможным поставлять такое оружие в зону боевых действий для нанесения ударов по нашей территории и создания проблем для нас, то почему у нас нет права поставлять наше оружие такого же класса в те регионы мира, где будут наноситься удары по чувствительным объектам тех стран, которые делают это в отношении России?
Okay, so America has been very, very soft on allowing, very, very prudent on letting Ukraine use their weapons, long-range missiles, to hit Russia. Now, he says, I can guarantee you that our friendship with Chad will not affect France. Why does he say that? He's just being very cocky. He's saying that because lately France has been very angry, unhappy with Russia, and they suggested that Europeans send not just weapons, but military, so troops within Ukraine. France has said that it's going to send, soldiers, teachers, trainers to teach Ukrainian how to remove mines, which I found absolutely crazy, because are you telling me that the entirety of the Ukrainian army, there aren't people that know how to remove mines? I don't know about that. Oh, it's just a way to say, okay, you know what, we're going to send people. We're not going to say they're going to fight. Now, Russian says this is not the first time. We've seen them come before. We've finished them. We've killed them before. Very, very bluntly, they say that. And he says he hopes this relationship with Chad doesn't anger France. We know that France has been very friendly, quote unquote, with many African countries. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, you name it. These countries were all colonized by France many years ago. But now they seem to be looking to Russia for mentorship and friendship. And just like a jealous girlfriend or a jealous ex-girlfriend, France is not very happy. So that's what's interesting. Now, the Germans have responded because the Germans have also allowed Ukraine to hit Russian border or within Russian territory using their weapons. Because Russia said, if they dare do that, we're going to show you, we're going to reciprocate. The Germans said they must be ready for war. I didn't know Germans were not ready for war. Like, fellas, some of these countries are not even ready for war anymore because they let America be their defender. Boris Peterson is convinced that his country will need to fight at some point. This comes after he called for a review of the military late last year. This Boris Peterson believes Germany need to look into the military. They need to review because they're not ready. But at some point, they're going to have to fight. He also pointed to the danger of a possible retaliatory Russian attack on NATO countries and said repeatedly that German military must become war ready. Why? Because they're going to send weapons to Ukraine to hit Russia in Russia. Now they worry that Russia will retaliate. I mean, isn't that what you expect, fella? If you punch somebody, what happens? They punch you back. If you tell somebody how they should punch somebody, you become the enemy, right? He says we must be ready for war by 2029. I mean, this is crazy, man. He's talking about 2029. We're in 2024. You must be ready now. We must provide a deterrent to prevent the worst from happening. Then you shouldn't send weapons to avoid the worst from happening. Isn't that common sense? Don't get involved when two people are fighting. It's their business. Let them beat each other up. If you advise one of them, you become automatically the enemy of the other, right? Don't tell him punch him on the stomach. Don't do that. Let them fight. Isn't that better than say, okay, we need to be ready in 3 years because we're going to fight when we tell them to? No, unless there is something we don't know that you are profiting from. That's the question. What are they profiting from? All of these countries. What is their interest in this war? Because it doesn't look like it's a Ukrainian war anymore. I mean, you're ready to send them weapons to hit Russia, but then you worry that Russia will hit you back. Well, why are you sending weapons? We must be ready because they're going to react. But why are you getting involved? It's not your war. Unless it's your war, we don't know. Sergey Lavrov going through Africa, seeing different countries, building his relationship with different African countries. Like I said earlier, Kapi and Junior. So that's Sergey Lavrov being that guy that's strong, representing Russia, who goes to these so-called weak countries to tell them it's okay, we can make it happen, even without them. And the other ones being the nasty ones. And now Germany says, okay, we need to be ready because we've just allowed Ukraine to hit Russia within Russian territory. But are we ready militarily? We're not. So maybe you shouldn't have said what you said in the first place. I'm just saying. God bless.